Hello everyone, Faranine here with episode 4 of Judge It, and today is going to be a very interesting one because I have created what I deem as my first challenge map, as well as accidentally failing my homework of making one and making two full maps. So we're going to try them both out, and we've got Agix, Mew, Maki, and Lexer all here, so a nice spread of expertise and preferences. Should really put some of my challenge to the test, and we'll see what happens.
Oh boy.
Oh, I went down.
Oh
Okay,
my.
so we're just
Okay.
gonna
Oh,
casually ignore all of that editing. So this map did not take me nearly as long to build. The gist of what happened here is I absolutely hated the first map for a while until I made some changes to fix it, and it just wasn't matching the themes of high speed.
holy.
So we wound up making this as the backup, and honestly, it turned out pretty fun.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. The inputs are not very common. Like, you don't have to do major inputs in this, but the fine-tuning of it takes a lot of
Go
effort.
back up. What the heck? Oh, wait, what? Where am I going? I'm
There are
so
numbers to
confused.
follow.
There are numbers, but there are arrows that were very confusing.
Arrows.
Yeah, at the end. Could you?
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
you
the
could do
double
that.
end.
You can do that.
Yeah,
Oh.
you figured out what's going on with the end there, I see. There's
What
two
is
ways to
gravity
do the finish.
over here?
Um, one of the requirements for this map was that the theme had no jumps as part of it. So in my normal fashion, there are no intended jumps. And if you do everything on the ground, it should be faster. I am not skilled enough at the game to say that that is a 100% guarantee. I tried my best to lock out the like 3 or 4 skips that me and the wife found in this map, so
Yes.
hopefully nobody finds any unintended skips. There's sort of a risky, sort of a skilled finish. Maki, you kind of already noticed that.
Yeah, it looks very annoying to do already.
I don't know if it's because I've been practicing it way too many times in various maps or what, but I actually made it harder like 4 times because I was just nailing it on every single attempt. But that being said, we all
Imagine,
know that practice at a technique really changes how easy it seems.
imagine being Mackie and just getting a finish.
Well, that risky is. Whew.
Some of us don't have to imagine that.
Alright, so I trust that we all know what the risky is at
Oh,
this point.
no, I haven't made it that far.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah, no,
Then the
don't spoil. No spoilers.
challenge is holding up to the name challenge.
Well, I'm almost made it that far. I just didn't know that turn after the loop was there.
Hmm. You know, I didn't think about that one.
Oh,
The speed makes the setups a little bit learny.
Indeed.
Oops.
It's really funny when you clip
oh, I wasn't ready.
the going around the first half of the loop. I did make it so you have to dodge that on
No!
purpose. But every once in a while, I'd like one wheel it and I just throw myself in a spiral into the tube. It's very funny. Unless the map forces me to do otherwise. But I've also developed a habit of attempting to do maps the way that they were created. I will only switch camera if it's really struggling.
Me too, Lexer.
Hey, thank you for the safety landing.
Yeah,
There's
agreed.
Flip around! I made
there's
it!
This is proving a lot more of a challenge than I expected it to be, and I'm kind of afraid that I might have made the next one too hard.
Wait, this is supposed to be the fun one?
Yeah.
This
Is
is
it
not the
fun?
challenge one.
Oh dear.
Okay, so I definitely think there's a lot of downtime at the first 3 checkpoints where you just keep going straight for like it's 5-6 seconds with little input.
I'm very confused about what you're talking about, mostly because there's like all of a quarter of a second on this map that I'm not touching something. So I
Well,
think that's probably your
after
experience, just making it so you can press buttons and leave it, but I will spectate
yes.
you after I'm done with this run. Because for me, oh dude, there's hardly any time in this map where I'm not trying to correct my angle. Gonna have to come watch the pros. I keep failing massively good runs. All right, yeah. Let me see what a good player looks like on this. All right.
I'm gonna stop going for the risky.
Also, Maki, that car of yours, is that from the Halloween event?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna have to actually go pay attention to the Halloween event then. Okay, yeah, you're just way crisper with those inputs. There's also the difference in control scheme. I'm noticing that you're able to make the micro adjustments a lot smoother, because for me, if I overturn, I have to change force and turn back.
Yeah, a lot of correcting.
But I see what you're talking about. Your runs look very different from my runs.
Nothing wrong with it, of course. It's just a lot of time it is you're just rolling at 200 speed, and I feel like the third checkpoint could be a little closer to the like exit of this tube part. It might be just me though.
Closer to
The rest
the you mean
closer
sooner?
to sooner, yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Oh yeah, I got the risky.
I didn't. I need the safety
I did
landing
too.
again.
Looks like hmm. I feel like you can just slow down a checkpoint and turn around.
Yeah, I think so.
I saw someone doing that.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Slowing down and turning around is feasible and faster.
Maybe even checkpoint 1, 2.
If you do it at checkpoint 1, it's easier to get it at checkpoint 2.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah,
Noted.
because you're reaching 200 speed. I'm 5 seconds faster. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now there comes the issue of
Oh,
full speed,
okay.
right?
Okay, so this is something I was mildly worried about. I really should have just put that checkpoint or another checkpoint further along that tube. Ooh. So pretty much because I put them so on the edge, you're just dipping into that, yeah?
Yeah. I wonder if you just dip into the first one as well, and then you have a better angle for two.
I was thinking about
That's
that.
what I was thinking, yeah.
Ooh,
Ah,
that's a massive oversight. Lexer, no way you have the speed for that.
No.
Okay. Listen, listen, I may have made a massive oversight on the checkpoints here, but there's limits. I think the craziest part about this, if I had just moved those checkpoints like 6 cars lengths out, this wouldn't be feasible.
yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Well, I'm eating that lesson.
Yeah, checkpoints don't hurt people. They usually just help you make your map uh be played as intended.
Yep.
Okay, one thing I want to say, if you ignore that there's a skip there, this tube, this outer tube ride into checkpoint 3 kind of has a little low contrast, so it's hard to tell that if you go on the lower end of the tube, that you're going to get in a bad spot and hit your head,
Hmm.
or it's kind of hard to see that it is a tube.
You mean the tube to flat transition?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I would get sucked underneath that, and I couldn't do anything about it.
Yep. Just a little more
Oh,
contrast there would
okay,
be
yeah,
nice.
I see what you mean. Earlier on in the tube, right? It
Or
kind of
or
just
even
looked
just
flat.
not have the road until it gets actually flat,
Yeah, that
so
would work
there's
too.
not that pinch point.
Hold on. If you take the checkpoint 2 skip, you can just kind of ignore that tube part and just turn left.
No, I tried that. It's so slow.
Well, I don't know. I'm improving 0.6 right now.
How did you make it through the loop?
I'm winning. I'm gonna get a 39.
Just go faster.
I think that Maki must have managed to do the skip itself way cleaner.
Yeah, preserving speed from the skip
I do
makes
this and then I just turn like this.
Oh, not the thing I was trying, but just skipping the
That the corner,
um
like you don't go in the tube transition, just turn left.
I find it kind of funny that Wilbert's asking about when the next map is, like it's not posted on the right side of his screen.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah, yeah, 39.
I think he doesn't like this.
oh,
I'm Oh yeah, he's quitting the next one.
so the prompt for that this map was using was high speed or full
It
speed.
was high speed precision with no jumps.
Okay.
So we definitely got a lot of prerequisites. Um, I think
huh.
I definitely nailed the high speed, no jumps part. Not so much the precision. I mean, there's definitely precision to be done in this map, but it's not as... I don't think anyone's playing this going, oh yeah, this map is precision based.
Yeah, I wouldn't describe it formally as a precision map.
Um, So, we've got 11 minutes here. Let's go over the normal questions. Skip aside. What do we like? What do we not like? I guess you did kind of point out that turn after checkpoint 2, which I thoroughly have to agree with.
I think Mew coming up to it right now. This transition is a little long and it's
Like
also
that.
yeah. Yeah, like that.
For sure. I did this to help avoid the lack of inputs and add some precision and skill to the map.
Oh yeah, you just hit it.
Yeah. No,
How was it?
that was actually very much on purpose. I thought it was too boring without that there.
Well, it just
Part of it comes down to the setup in the turn beforehand. Makes it easier or
Yeah.
harder.
Mm.
yeah, if you don't set up like high, then you're like almost forced to hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was honestly I'm surprised that's the part that you're saying you don't like, because that was specifically there to help avoid the lack of inputs that people are always saying is a bad thing in the map. What could I
I
have
don't
done
say
better for that then?
it's not that it's bad. It's just it comes up very unexpected on your first try, and I'm like oh whoa,
Hmm.
you know.
I've actually kind of wanted to ask about first try stuff in maps, because this is a
So
bit of a gate that I've been trying to understand with this game. If we take the Cup of the Day maps, even today's, which I personally think was probably the best Cup map we've had in a long time,
it
even better than last
was
week's.
fun.
Um, what is the expectation for you can see it on your first try versus not? Because I feel like every map I've played has had a notable bit of like, oh, your first try, you just have to learn about that turn. So, in other words, what I'm trying to ask is like,
Yeah.
where's the difference between, oh, I didn't know about that beforehand, that feels like something I need to learn, and it feels bad?
No, I mean that's a fair argument. Like
Good learning versus bad
many
learning.
yeah, many maps are just uh you'll play through. It's unexpected. On your next turn, you'll probably know better.
So would this particular instance, this turn here, have been improved by either a Ronin line or a marker of some kind to show you that you needed to go high? Or would you prefer just have to learn that?
Well, you made maps with rodent lines before, right?
Oh yes.
Maybe you could like have a dot at the top of this checkpoint 3.
Okay.
I don't mind the learniness for that tube section being in the way, just being the way it is now. I don't feel like much to indicate it would detract from the effect it has in the map, really.
Interesting.
Just you see it the first time and you basically figure out what to do.
Yeah, it took me one time running into that piece to
Yeah,
learn
I
how
only
don't
ran
do
into,
that.
but it caught me by surprise.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, and it's organized in such a way that there's not really a lot that you can do to get rid of that surprise in a very effective and complete way
Gotcha.
that learning that it's there just doesn't accomplish.
Alright. What are... Well, actually, does anyone else have any notable weaknesses on this map where you're just like, don't do that?
So, skip aside, when you get into checkpoint 2 and are going up on the tube, I would hop into the air a lot, and
Yeah.
figuring out how to avoid doing that was it felt an unintended part of figuring out the map.
So to add on to that, I would make the tube ride section a little bit shorter, and to get rid of the fan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I could definitely see that. What are our favorite parts about this? Is there any parts of this
I
map
love the
that...
risky. I
I was to say
actually
that
really
too.
like
I
the
love the
risky.
risky
The
finish.
risky is very fun. Yeah, it's
Okay,
much better than the other route.
good.
The like outer tube to wall ride
Yeah.
back to outer tube is very
Yeah.
satisfying.
You can blame Kern for that. I spent so much time learning to do turn 1 on Burnt Corn that I was just like, now I kind of like this. It's a problem. What do we think about the decoration?
I would say I'm not mute, but I think the track color and the skybox and the beholders are all like the same grayish color, so maybe some more colors.
I feel like this giant incline being featureless is a real missed opportunity.
Yeah, I
Oh, yeah.
certainly could have, maybe put something in between the pathways, some stone statues or something to make it so you couldn't do a skip or something like
Yeah,
that.
it could prevent a skip or something. It could be crazy.
Okay, it looks like surprisingly, we've kept Wilbert, nobody else yet.
Not much
Yeah,
longer.
I didn't dislike this map. It's quite nice to drive when you aren't focusing on the skip.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this, I spent about an hour trying to get one decent finish on this next map, last night,
Oh no.
and then I had to go to bed because I was way too late. And then I got a
Oh boy.
decent finish pretty early today. But optimizing this map, let's put it this way. There's a reason I said I built my first challenge map.
Right away, I like this aesthetic.
I don't think I went the
They
right
didn't
way.
cut out rags.
Wait, what am I? What?
Okay. That
Yeah, what am
I
I
like a
doing
bait.
here?
I very much
This sure
should
looks like a bait.
encourage people to photo mode this early. Lexer, I see you've already
No.
figured that out.
No.
Oh, you know me. You've watched me play enough to know that I'm immediately in photo mode.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Such a narrow loop.
Whoa.
Putting
Dang.
the lights on these edges at the end is an interesting addition.
What
I
the
am
heck do I do?
terrified
Oh,
at how
I guess it's not
far
the end.
people are getting early. I was expecting this map to take you guys at least 5 minutes before anyone gets a finish, and I'm starting to think that that might not happen.
Going slow.
Also, Lexer, if you're watching, you're about to see the skip that I was
Oh,
not
no.
able to stop. I've done a lot to mitigate how good of a time you can get doing it, but and this is really bad because I kind of wiped out at the end. I do not know what times are possible. I spent almost my entire time building this map just trying to make
Oh boy.
mitigations to the difficulty level so that it wasn't horrible while still classifying as a challenge map. It's also designed, as all my maps are, with the goal of not being complete hell for a new player. So there are safety checks in the map so that you can get a finish without having to go really smoothly at it. But not a good one. Definitely not a good one.
Ah, you.
Oh, that's where the jump is. Okay, I mistook it.
Am I gonna get speed checked?
Uh, Speed checked? No.
Wait, what do I do here? Oh, that. Okay.
Lecture, get to a side.
Uh, ah.
Yeah.
And I photo moded it, and I realized too late what part I was at.
Yep. That definitely, I think, is going to trip up the most people. It's a very unusual transition. I think it gets
Ah!
kind of obvious what to do once you get there, but I have heard Maki say, "What am I supposed to do here?" 3 times, so I'm going to go spectate them now and find out.
I
Well,
think
this is
maybe
what
I just
happens when
got
you
to the
don't photo
same
mode.
part you were talking about.
Okay, yeah, Maki's definitely figured it out. What was that, Agix?
Said I think I just got to that same part you were talking about.
Yep,
Is it that
I think
wall
so.
border writing piece?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hard to do because it's the same color as the map.
Ah,
As you can see on the author medals over there, I put down a 54 earlier. That 54 was not even close to my fastest potential when I was doing this with the checkpoint mod.
Ah!
I can guarantee that a 52 is possible.
Yeah, I think so.
I have a theory.
So-
Well, so my theory has been and is more so now for reasons that a 48 could happen if there's tech that I'm not aware of on the other parts of this map.
Um. Hmm. I did the exact same thing as Agix. I just jumped off and barely made it over the hill, and it just worked out perfectly.
And you weren't at like 20 speed for the rest of the map?
No,
I assume you jumped to the far left and wall rode the end there.
no, I just turned. I hit the wall at the end, but it's
I didn't make it deep enough.
there's no real point wall riding the end because you're getting to the finish anyway. So just attempting to make the turn normal is always going to be better.
For you, maybe. If I attempt to make the turn normally after that jump, I smack into the far wall and don't go so well. This is why I left that jump to see what you could do with it, because I knew that there would be variation to that end that I just cannot figure out.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Um,
Oh, you could just throw that right into the finish. Yeah.
if you get a very low jump and an early landing, you can definitely just turn to the finish.
Arguably, yes. Ooh, yeah. I'm shocked that Wilbert's still with us. We've lost a few good men in this war already.
Let's go, Wilbur.
Who else is going into first person on the second checkpoint?
I go at
Me? No, not
checkpoint
first person. I'm going
4.
static cam.
So, you've said that twice now. Do you play with the... Oh, by static cam you mean the one that stays behind you. I hate the name of that. It seems
Yeah.
backwards to me. Never mind. I play with normal cam all the time. Static cam... we were messing around with and discovered that checkpoints cause problems. So, or rather, the camera switching things cause problems.
Yeah, that's why I have a input binding for it.
I think that was slower, Mackie.
I don't know what you mean.
Maki,
I'm still going. You're not.
tell me, Maki, is a
Because I
48
was fast.
is a 48 possible? I see that 50 up there.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely on a 48 pace.
A 148?
Uh, well, weirdly enough, I haven't heard as many comments of "Ew, what the heck were you thinking?" as I was expecting from you guys yet.
This is not that bad. Yeah, it's not that bad.
By the way, did anyone besides
It's
me get
not.
a finish in the first 5 minutes?
Nope.
I think that took me 6 or 7.
I think Mackie had his jump over the checkpoint at about 5 minutes.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's the curse of playing without photo moding. I don't know what you're supposed to do.
Well, I'll tell you this, you're supposed to keep both your wheels on that bridge, and I'm sucking at that.
Yeah, same.
What was the prompt for this map?
Same prompt, actually. So, I had been
Okay.
working on this one first, and I had a bit of a get good moment, because legitimately, the start was so frustrating. I had gotten to the bottom of the big hill, like just the big flat hill where you do some zigging. And then I was getting down there, I'm like, this isn't a high speed map. And I hate it, so I'm just not going to. Also,
Okay.
the pieces for corkscrews in this game are difficult to work with, and I couldn't figure out how to transition it.
I got the corkscrew and I don't know. I feel like if you do the jump and land correctly, it's still better.
Valid. The fact that it's close enough to make you question it, I'll count as a success. Okay, so let's start talking about the good, the bad, and the color problems on this map.
I don't think there's a color problem.
There's a lot of chests in this map.
There's
It is worn out rags. Aesthetically, I think it's great.
Um,
I've never
so
got so much airtime on that before.
what is that? Checkpoint 3? Like the downhill thingy? The little
Yes.
the little what is this? Like chicane you're forced to do. So a little can be a little annoying.
And it's also a little confusing there. I thought I had to take jumps.
Yes,
So
same.
did I. Yeah.
I wonder if you could take like the red bump and just jump over
That's
the
what I
top.
thought. Yeah. The
Uh,
red bump.
it is doable, but it is
Oh, like the
notably slower. Like, if you can do it faster, then there's a major skill diff in accomplishing that at a good speed, because I have done it like 18 times to check, and I even did this speed boosted. Which, by the way, at checkpoint 3, what kind of speeds are we getting?
3?
fast.
Yeah. I
Like
know 110
110?
is possible, so I assume that like 114 is theoretically possible. But
I
my
need to get
best
there
is a
again.
110. I used a fan to push me up to 116 at that just to make sure that things weren't too funky. I am happy that you guys are seeing a lot of the same stuff I saw, because that means I am starting to learn to think about the map creating in the correct way. It may be
Suppose.
doable. I definitely could be mistaken about it being doable, but at least I'm seeing things at this point that need to be aware of. Alright, let's pretend for a moment that we were talking about this on a scale level, and we're starting with the difficulty. On a 1 to 10 difficulty, where does this fall? Maki, especially you, because you're the only one getting the hypothetically good runs. Lexer's getting kind of up there at this point.
Um well, if you intend the map to be played with the corkscrew, I think it's a lot difficult than just doing like a jump off of there
Mm. So
because the
if that
corkscrew
was blocked, it would
feels.
be a lot worse for sure.
I mean, yeah, if there wasn't the opportunity to just fall off and still make it, I feel like it would be a bit harder because the
You mean
scale of
at
the
the end?
corkscrew feels very inconsistent. Sorry.
You mean the corkscrew at the end?
Yeah,
Yes.
that
Oh, I
corkscrew
didn't have any problem with
is not as hard as it seems. Like if that was in the same place as the bridge, I don't think anyone would bat an eye at it. I definitely think using it at the end was a little bit of a mistake. Actually, after building the track, I've thought that several times that one, it would be less of a cheese problem as far as getting to the finish goes if I had done that same thing earlier, because it would have given me more opportunity to curtail how you use that corkscrew to maintain your momentum as opposed to the rough landings. And then also the difficulty check. So I definitely understand what you're saying there. Would you, in its current state, getting a good finish, would you call this? I think this is probably around a difficulty 7 or 8. It's a tad bit harder than several of the showdown maps to get a good finish.
Getting a good
I
finish is really hard because of the speed you have at CP3 and how that makes the slalom after it. It's a very tight chicane
Oh yeah, the
with that.
slalom gets
If you have
way
like
worse the
110,
more speed you have.
yeah, yeah, that's where I keep crashing right now because I'm trying to full speed this.
Yep. I kind of predicted that a little
I
bit.
think it's not like giving this like a number rating on difficulty is going to be different for everyone, right?
I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Because my 1 to 10 scales got different endpoints and a different rate of change across it than yours.
Fair, fair. Um, as a challenge map, if we're ignoring this as a race and just going, hey, this is meant to be challenging, how does this hold up? I mean, not just is it difficult, but is it a good difficulty or
There's a
fun?
difference between meant to be challenging and meant to be a challenge map. I think
I would
there's a
agree with that.
distinction there.
This one is certainly meant to be a challenge map. I did want there to be a level of getting a finish on this is a certain level of skill in its own.
I
Oh, Wilbur
wouldn't.
hasn't finished yet.
I wouldn't say it's a challenge map, but I would say it is challenging.
Same.
Interesting. Hence that joke about me renaming it. uh, what could I have done differently in the same vein to change that to it is a challenge map? Obviously, I could remove the option to do the jump at the end and just make the corkscrew the only option, but barring that.
Yeah, things like that where you don't have safety backups.
If you made every flat surface the same as the one in the start.
That's
Listen,
where
In
1,000
fact,
of the
that's what I
blocks
thought you
are.
were gonna do at start.
listen. There's only so much torture I can submit myself to.
Huh.
Uh,
Ah,
man, I keep failing my good runs. I'm super mad that I haven't repeated that 54 at least. It's like, I know I can get a 52 on
Sub
this map.
50.
Nice.
Oh. I assume you're both still using the jump for those good runs then.
Yeah.
I did not.
Oh, that
I
was the corkscrew.
corkscrewed. Yes.
Okay. As it
But the
stands
corkscrew
currently,
is
that's
easier to line up for the turn at the end, while the jump is easier to do, and
yes, yes.
you get
That
more speed out of.
that was my intended methodology of hopefully making the corkscrew a little bit faster. It's lined up better, it lands you smoother. It's just overall all the technical jargon, theoretically that's superior. The only problem is that the jump is so much easier. I feel like less people are even inclined to try it because of how much easier the jump is. Which, by the way, I had moved that checkpoint to try and fix this quite a few times. It didn't work. That being said, I've been racing this whole time and not doing the actual recording job, so let me hop into photo mode here. And, what are some of the good and some of the bad things about this?
This bridge is terrible. Remove it.
The bridge is the worst part.
I'm getting more consistent at the bridge. Personally, for me, it's the super narrow piece after the bridge that is I'm disliking.
Really? I only failed that like once every 3 tries. Actually, no, it's more like I succeed once every 3
It-
tries, but still.
It
Okay.
feels good to get it right. It's just kind of frustrating.
Hmm.
I'm
And then
not able to experience the rest of the map because of this bridge. Sorry.
Oh, it's I feel you, Mew. I I'm not arguing with that. It is my firm opinion that if I didn't have a rule against undoing maps, I would just go change that bridge entirely. I would probably just make it so that you could easily ride on each piece, so that it didn't change the entire map, but I hate it so much. Clip your wheel there, I'm guessing, Mew.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I also did.
I just keep screwing up that part too.
Anyway, what are some of the good things about this map? Mew, sorry.
I like how it I like the way it looks and the little fringes around the edges of all the pieces. It fits the title very well.
Speaking of lights, I appreciate the light at CP1. It kind of lines you up for the
It does.
little bridge after that. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent.
I like the lights at the I don't even know what checkpoint it is, but the split wall rides across the gap.
Gotcha.
The lights there to find the edges are helpful.
Yeah, I've been trying to use the lights to get better at guiding. I think lights in combination with the general human brain add a notable level of just go here without having to be too straightforward about it. I
Human
see
brain like light.
Zoman and Game Face just noped out of here instantaneously. Well,
The lobby title said it was going to be hard. No?
I'm not to blame for this. Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward week. Not very much to discuss outside of what we've already said. Is there any final points either of you wants to make on the maps? Or any of you, rather?
The checkpoint, what is it? Two twisty thing where you go like up and to the left on that really thin wall
Yeah.
barrier piece. The way it levels out feels like it is too wobbly, and it sort of makes you hop off the track instead of level out unless you do it in a very
Some-
specific way, which might be intentional, but it feels I don't know.
It is definitely very hard to do that optimally. That was part of the precision that I was going for with the maps, was just
Okay,
I wanted
yeah.
part of the map to be like there is airtime on these maps. You remember my not a flying map, and you actually kind of commented not to just make the not to ultra gravity the maps.
Right, right. That's a cop out.
So part of what I was thinking is that the next best way to go about doing something for that kind of a theme, where you just have a don't do this aspect to your theme, is to make it so that you can do that thing, but
If
it's
you
suboptimal.
do this, it'll screw with your run. Yeah.
Yeah. So that particularly, I tried to make it so that there were like it wasn't super hard to land even if you fell off, but it was pretty hard to keep it 100% on the ground. And I will say that that part is my favorite part of the second map. It was also my longest created map yet, largely due to the challenge of finishing each piece, but also just general working on it. I want to say I put a total of somewhere around 16 hours into building that map. Which, for me, is a lot compared to the, 4 I spent building the one we're currently on.
Yeah, it takes time to get the lines really honed down to a very narrow set of them.
I just beat my author time without the skip. Nice. Lexer, I guess you and Maki are up,
Oh boy.
and I am terrified of this combination. Um,
Hmm.
yeah. If Lexer, you were here earliest, and I don't think that I've
Are-
asked you in a while, if you want to give me the first part of my prompt for next week, I'm going to try and build one
Oh
map.
man. I have to be the one that starts us? Oh no.
Go on.
Okay. I'm gonna be vague. Not like Mew levels of vague, but I'm gonna be vague.
Hey.
No, actually Mew was very specific. I'm gonna say water.
Water.
Oh, that's a good one.
Do
That
with that what you will.
that is vague. Alright. Maki, I'm afraid of the amount of power he's really just stuck in your hands. What am I doing with my water-themed map next week?
Hmm. Um, make make water slow you down.
Waters. Ooh. Ooh, I like this. I like this a lot.
That was an interesting way to twist that.
I was gonna say off road, but then I was like,
Afraid of a
Is
repeat of
water off-road?
I mean, well, in a literal sense, I guess it is.
I love that idea. There are so many ways of going about that running through my head right now. I'm looking forward to this one.
Oh, I can tell. This is a fun way to twist it up.
Indeed. All right. Well, Mew, I'm afraid that you might have to join the lobby for Alex's stream next week or something to get to
If
see these,
I,
because
yeah.
this is looking like it's going to be fun. Water that slows you down. All right. Well, uh, Agix, Mew, Lexter, Maki, thank you all for joining me again today. And, yeah, I guess that's a wrap.